Happy Mondays and Rope for Luck, and that is the first song in this hour, and that was chosen by my co-host this evening, who is Liam Gallagher. How are you? Nice to see you.
All right, actually, a little bit fragile from the football, but
yeah,
I will live. And now that all that stuff's over, I can get back to sorting my napper out, because I've got a gig in about 2 weeks time. So, but other than that, all right.
How has it been being a Man City fan for the past few weeks?
It's been amazing, but a nightmare as well, because Arsenal have sort of been giving us a run for the money to win the league, and my missus is an Arsenal fan, so there's been lots of tantrums and doors slamming and you know what I mean, and loads of laughing, and then loads of little weird voodoo bits, like the red lipstick going a bit too much on it, you know what I mean? I'm going, well, you don't normally wear big mad red lipstick. Well, yeah, I do, just to get the voodoo in, you know what I mean, for the Arsenal colour, loads of stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad it's all over, you know what I mean? Because it is, and it's messing with my
Oh, but amazing, though. It must have been unbelievable.
But it's stressful, though, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the kid, I imagine for a 5-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid, it's mega, you know what I mean? But I'm 50 and I'm knackered. And I got things just from the buzzing of football and
the emotion of it.
And then celebrating it as well, you know what I mean? Because you're neither going to sit and drink a cup of tea, are you, after it, or during it? So God, it's done and dusted now, man.
How did you celebrate? Because it's a few days ago now and you're still recovering.
It was Saturday, and we just carried on until Sunday evening, and then maybe Monday morning. So
celebrating with who?
Just friends and family around the house. Didn't go. We just watched at the house.
Who do your kids support?
They're City fans.
Oh, okay, of course.
I mean, Molly's a Liverpool fan, so we don't speak to her much. And then Lennon's, he's a City fan, but he's not really bothered, really. But he'll come and cheer it on for the crack and that. But Jean's bad for them.
Good.
He's proper into it. He's really Larry as well with it. So you've got to cool him out.
Are you friends with any of the players?
No, I don't really. I don't go for that, me, man. I've met a few of them sometimes, but I'm not like our kid who's down there stalking him every 2 minutes in the dressing room while they're semi-naked after just putting a 90-minute in shift. I don't do that. I don't, as you know, I'm not a celebrity lady of the night, as they say, you know what I mean? I kind of keep myself to myself.
We just played Happy Mondays and Rope for Luck. Now, that took me back to the Astoria in London when I saw them for the very first time back in the day. God, I don't even think I was working in radio at that time. Right. But where does it take you back to, your journey with the Happy Mondays?
Well, I remember the first time I heard them, obviously Noel got into them before us with the Squirrel and the G-Men and all that stuff. First time I laid eyes on Sean Ryder was I was got to work, digging holes for some Irish firm, and that, I think it was called Murphy's or Paddy's, you know what I mean, it's Paddy or something like that anyway, like Murphy's or something. And as we were driving down the road, I seen him in Whitworth Street, and he had a little skinhead, and it was round about that time, and he had this little blue jacket on, which I loved, and these massive bell-bottom flares. And I thought, who's that nut? He said, sure, that's that guy off the Mondays, out of the Mondays. And that was it. Then I went to see him at, I think is it the Albert Hall in Manchester? Or the
yeah, probably.
Hall, one of them.
What was it like?
Yeah, it was mega. But all that Manchester scene, I was, ready for all that stuff. And then all that kind of stuff opened me into, other stuff, you know what I mean? Like more classic. It sort of I went back in time and started getting into the Beatles and the Stones and the Kinks and the Who and all that stuff. But without all them bands, I would never have got into where I am today.
Right, we're going to play. You're here to talk about the album, which is beautiful. I don't know that there are that many copies around. Have you not? Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
To be partying. Yeah.
This is Knebworth 22, nice. Which is what you played. I'm just going to pass it over so you can have a look at it as well. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I'm on the cover, so it's always going to be a winner.
Looking good.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I mean, it sounds mega, and it was a top few days out.
We're going to play a track from it and we'll talk more after this. So this song, Roll It Over.
Oh, yeah.
This is a single, isn't it, that's coming out? Why this song? Because you didn't play it with Oasis, did you?
I think we might have played, I'm not sure, I can't remember that far back, but we may have and we may not have, and if we did, it would have probably been half of it, and Noel would have probably walked off halfway through it and that. But anyway, we played it this time and it sounds mega. With the choir and all that, it sounded amazing, so yeah, I think I've done a good job on it.
Right, this one's called Roll It Over.
Roll It Over, that's from the Live at Knebworth 22. The vinyl I've got in my hands right now. I want to open up the cover and have you, the inside, so you have a look at that. And that is you on stage with,
yes.
God, how many people? Any idea?
I think it was 70,000 a night. No, it was amazing, man. people ask, you know what I mean? It's like, what's it like and that? And the way I can see it is like, obviously we did it with Oasis in whatever that was, 26 years ago.
96.
Yeah, and all that, and it's mega and that, but you don't really take that kind of stuff in when you're a kid or when you're young and that, because you're just getting up, you know, you're too busy off your head anyway, whatever. So, I imagine going back to it 26 years later, you know, obviously they're both amazing things to do and that, but it's like a boxer when he wins his first title, it's amazing, but then when you lose it and then you go back and win it 26 years later, I think the one that means the most is the one 26 years later, even though the one when you won it first time was mega as well. You know what I mean? Not bad for someone who's meant to be disingenuous.
Right, I'm going to get this out. Let's just get this out of the way, because you've talked about the football. There was, of course, the quote that you said, which was, if Man City wins the Champions League...
I never said that.
It's a tweet.
I've
got it here in front of me.
It wasn't by me, man.
I'll call my brother and I bring back the band together.
I never said that, no. I think it was when someone else was tweeting, being silly and that. It wasn't me, though.
Okay, well, that's the perception.
Our kid's been called many times to get the band back together.
Okay.
It just so happens that this time he wants it when he's got an album out. But he's been called many times about getting the band back together, and the way I see it is it ain't happening. I won't be calling him. He'll be calling me. He split the band up on his terms, and I'll be getting it back together on my terms. And I'm a reasonable person, but I'm very good friends with the universe, and we have ways of making it happen, because it will come round to him calling me, and that is it. And now I've been asked many a times, about Oasis. I never turn around and go, I get asked just like everybody else. When's Oasis get back together? Oh, it'll happen. I don't sit there and go, it's going to happen next week, trust me, like that. I think it will happen.
You say he split the band up on his terms.
Yeah, of course.
So what happened? Liam, tell me.
It wasn't going too well for him, so he wanted to be a solo star. That's the way I see it. There was nothing, no one knew it was coming, and you don't split bands up like that when people have got, you know, it's a big thing, you know what I mean? If he did want to go and do a solo career, cool, I'd have quite happily had 2 years off, you know what I mean? So he sort of just went, boom, pull the plug like that, and I just think that's snide, so...
How was that for you?
Well, I'm still not, obviously, still got the ump with it, haven't you? Because he threw his younger brother under the bus, you know what I mean? I've got bills to pay as well, and so did everyone else that worked for it, and we had dreams as well and stuff like that, so you just don't do that, so obviously I've still got the ump about it, and like, you know, there you go, so... We'll see. I'm
going to play this because he was asked just the other day, right? So, and I'm sure you will have seen this, so I'm going to play it.
I dare you to call me, and you won't call me, because if you do call me and I go...
Right, just when he turns into a wrestler, Ric Flair.
Actually,
I dare you.
Work.
I dare you. I've seen it. I don't want to wear it again because it'll put me in a bad mood.
Well, okay, so he says, you know what happens when you get in a room together. What does happen?
God knows. I reckon he'll tickle me. Definitely feather dusted or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
God knows, we haven't been in a room for however long.
That must be so hard for your mum. We've just been talking about you.
She's kind of over it, you know what I mean? She's like not bothered. She's just like, we're a pair of idiots. But, you know, it's like, the olive branch has been put out to him many a times.
So have you personally called him?
I haven't personally called him. I'm not going to personally call him. I haven't got his number. He will call me. I know he will. Because the universe will make him. That's what will happen.
Obviously, you were hurt when he split the band. Yeah, and that's an awful lot. Because it's... So you didn't do anything wrong?
Not as much as I normally do. I don't do anything wrong.
As I normally do.
Oh, no, we're in a rock and roll band, aren't we? You know what I mean? We're not the tweenies, you know what I mean? It's like...
You want him to call? For your relationship, not the band.
That would be lovely for me, Mum, wouldn't it? And it'd be lovely. I'm asked about the band. The band will get back together when it gets back together. It'll be lovely for brothers to be talking, and my mum and all that. It'd be lovely. And my other brother. And families that haven't seen each other, like my kids haven't seen his kids, I haven't seen his kids. So all that would be great. And then we can get back to business. Or whatever, even if we don't get the band back together, that would be nice, you know what I mean? But
maybe you could solve this if you simply just went, do you know what? All right, I'm going to, and I'm going to call him. And have I got his number? Yeah.
Go on, let's call him then.
Call him now.
Don't be silly. Do you move on then, yeah?
Yeah, we can move on.
Cool.
Of course we can. Right, so let's go to childhood song.
Right.
Okay, and this was part of my childhood as well. So
rhubarb and custard.
Yeah. Right, let's hear this. Seems apt.
marvellous.
That was when was that on? It was kind of tea time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what time it was on at, but I just know it just rang around my head for years and still does sometimes, and I love it.
Yeah, it's that stupid dog. I've got a golden retriever, and I think he was a golden retriever or a Labrador or something like that.
I just loved it, man. And it's annoying, and I love that. It's annoying as well.
Yeah. Was there a lot of music in your house? What did your mum play?
Mainly just Irish music, really, like lots of Foster and Allen and stuff. And my dad was a bit of a DJ, or fancied himself as a DJ. Like in Irish clubs, so we'd play a lot of that stuff, and Top of the Pops would come on, we'd try and beg him to watch that, and he'd be like getting these records, and he'd be taping them, so he wouldn't take his records out, he'd take his tapes out.
Hang on, so what did he DJ? What kind of things?
Like Irish music, like Foster and Allen stuff, like Irish clubs and that.
Yeah, well, like in like working men's clubs.
Yeah, pubs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, so yeah, that's kind of what was going on, and then obviously my older brother Paul, he was into the Jam.
Yeah.
No one's into the Smiths. I wasn't really feeling music at the time. I was more out. And that's kind of what was going on, really. Like
when you eventually did get to see Top of the Pops, are there any performances that you remember seeing distinctly?
There wasn't any of them that really stood out, really. You know what I mean? Everyone would sit on there and go, the Smiths or the Jam and all that. Not for me. They were all kind of... I like the silly ones as well, you know what I mean? But then, like, I guess the Christmassy ones were nice.
I remember Imagination. Do you remember Imagination being on there? Lee John, I think they did Body Talk, and he was just writhing around with hardly any clothes on at all.
Don't remember that. I remember 5 Star maybe when we're talking about stuff like that.
Yeah. We do something called Up Close and Personal, so some random questions to throw at you. Liam, what would you say is your job title?
My job title?
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a rock and roll star. I mean, I'm not an entertainer either. I'm certainly not. I'm an anti-entertainer. I just want to sing and touch people more than make sure they're all having a lovely time waving their hands about. Which
is what you did at Knebworth. I saw a clip of you talking, and you were talking about Debbie, who put on Knebworth, and you talked so movingly about her because it was a really big deal. It was a huge thing to organise.
Yeah, it's in her back garden because Debbie's from Stevenage, so it was a big thing and still is for us all, you know what I mean? So, I'm double proud, man.
Yeah. You're a good partnership, you and Debbie together.
Mega.
Yeah. What was your first job?
Got kicked out of school early on, before I was meant to leave.
What age, do you remember?
I think it was like 15 or something. Well, what time you meant to leave? Like 16 or something?
I think it was 16
15,
back then.
Just before the exams, you know what I mean? So I got booted out because I was doing the Reds in, and they sent me up to this Parswood Centre, which was a gardening centre, so where you do like build fences and creosote and stuff like that. And I'd do a little bit of that. I'd start that job at 8 o'clock, but I'd finish on a Friday at like 12, so even all my mates were still in school 3 hours after me, and I think I got 50 quid a week, and that was good. And,
that was all right at the time, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was. I'd come back. I used to shake it, like just waft it on the railings as I go past at 12 o'clock on my BMX. So that was that.
What did you spend the money on? £50 a week?
God knows, clothes maybe, trainers and stuff. You know what I mean? And then the next one was like, I think I got another job messing about, and then I worked with my dad for a bit. We got back to seeing my dad. I'd done a bit of that. He was a builder.
Did that go well?
Not really, no. I got suntan out of it. And I looked pretty fit for 16-year-old.
Was he hard to work for?
Yeah. But, and that was that, really, man. And then I tried swerve work. I mean, I've done a few bits, but nothing too much.
Rock and roll star's a bit better.
Obviously.
Favourite dessert?
A rum barber.
Oh, my God, no one's ever said that before. What is it, a rum barber? How does it taste?
It's got rum in it.
Obviously.
And it's like a donut sort of thing, and it's got like cream in it. And and they used to do them at a place in London called the Ivy.
Oh my
Obviously,
God.
You can go to other places called McDonald's, but they stopped doing them.
They stopped. So you stopped going to the Ivy?
No, I still go on that, but they stopped doing a rum barber for some bizarre reason. It's just not on.
What's the coolest feature in your home, in your house? What do you particularly love? Something that you love in your house?
The coolest feature.
Yeah.
I got some nice pictures and that, but I like my wallpaper. I think my wallpaper is amazing.
I remember this before. We talked about interiors.
It's like Kew Gardens, man. I'm not sure the make, but Debbie will know. But it's expensive, and it's like being in like, it's just like I've got loads of flowers everywhere, and it's pretty psychedelic. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just big blousy flowers, yeah.
Big, blousy lady flowers. It's not something you'd expect, man, but men are like flowers, I guess, as well. Loads of flowers, man, and I like it, yeah.
Do you like gardening at all? Have you extended into that?
No, I'm not into that. No, I don't like getting my hands dirty and that, but I've got a love gardener that comes around and does it all for us.
Very nice. Do you do karaoke ever?
No, none of that nonsense.
Last impulse buy is what have you spent your money on recently? Someone was asking what trainers you're wearing these days.
What trainer? Well, I got my own ones, haven't I? So I'll get them for now. Nova Star pumps, man, because like they remind me of when I was about 16, 17, and we were obsessed with Dunlop Green Flash as a kid, and like you could get them for like, can't remember the prices, but like you'd get a pair every weekend, you know what I mean, because they were that cheap. And you could beat them up and all that, and you go and see gigs, and it didn't really matter. So, and the Nova Star do like loads of colours of them, so, and they're just like battered pumps. So I kind of like that thing. But my favourite trainer, I don't know. I like the one that we've got out, Adidas Barrington.
Oh, nice.
Which is good.
So yeah, last thing you spent money on?
It was probably the house in France. Kids. Okay. I hate to be flash, but it either go, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was that, I think.
All right, I'm going to talk about that after we play this. This is the first song that you ever bought, and I don't know this song, Tricky T.
A lot of my mates was into hip-hop at the time, and I was flirting with it, you know what I mean? So it would have even been that, LL Cool J, I Need Love, or one of these, but I remember it, this, which one is it, Johnny the Fox
Johnny
stuff.
the Fox, yeah, that's what I've got here.
It was that kind of stuff.
We were just talking about extravagance and the last impulse buy, and you said the house in France.
Yeah, that was the last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It is nice, because I just don't trust banks at the moment. I'm not a conspiracy theory, but I'm just like, I don't trust anyone when it's sitting there like that, and I'm thinking, nah, because they just turn around, won't they, my mind, and go, it's gone. What are you going to do about it? So it was nice to get it out of there pretty sharpish and get it over into something, you know what I mean? And
but to have somewhere to go to and take your mum?
Yeah, and have somewhere to go and take my mum and the kids and all that tackle, because them others just a mistake, man. They start costing a few quid when there's 20 of you, you know what I mean?
You're big on family, really big on family, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, we see each other a lot. I mean, we see a lot of each other, you know what I mean? When you can, you know what I mean? They've got their stuff going on, you know what I mean? They don't want to be hanging out with the dad all the time, but if you can get a moment and you have a holiday and all that tackle, then I'm pretty like, let's get over there and hang out with each other and see what we've been up to. But
what do you love most? What do you do when you're all together?
Just, you know, having a laugh.
Just being in their company, because it goes really quickly, doesn't it? But I think it also
just being in a company, like we're not sitting around reading books and that, you know what I mean, or discussing a Rembrandt or whatever he's called, or whatever she's called, and that was just we're having a good time eating food, you know, having arguments, you know, all that stuff, just having a good time, man.
It's good as they get older as well, I think, your kids, because it's obviously you have loads of fun when you go into soft play centres or whatever you do, but as they get older, you know, there's...
Well, for me, when they were young, I wasn't really there that much, to be fair, you know what I mean? So it was like, even like, you know, you're there a bit, but you're not really there, you know what I mean? Because of whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, it's nice to sort of, you know, be there.
Yeah.
And like, they know now as well, you know what I mean? Because they're getting little hangovers themselves and that. And they're sitting there going, oh, Dad, you know, like when you used to be going, yeah, look, I'm not going out, you know, not doing any of that today. And I used to think you was a bad dad and all that tackle because you were like hungover in bed. And I get it now, you know what I mean? Because when you're asking them to come round, they're going like, no, I was out till 6 in the morning. So, you know. Because they're out partying now, so...
Yeah.
But it's good.
So you're doing catch up and just enjoying being the dad.
Exactly.
And with your mum, you're obviously still incredibly close to your mum, Peggy.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah. I don't see as much as I'm meant to and that, but as you should. But we speak every day, kind of. You know what I mean? And she's all
every
good,
day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, not every day, but we text every day and stuff. But I mean, there's only so much you could talk about the weather, isn't there? You know what I mean? Hot out, innit? Yep. Thunderstorms later on. Yep. What are you having for tea? Not sure yet. Alright, speak to you tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's just a text at me, you know what I mean? But no, she's all good, so I'm going to be seeing her soon to go to France.
Lovely. And have you done the interior, the design? Because we've been talking about the design of the place in France.
No, it was already done, man.
Oh yeah, tell me about the house.
Yeah, well,
who owned it
used
before?
to be Noel Edmonds and that, which was cool and that, and like... I know he made a lovely job of it, and so I won't be doing anything. I won't be touching it. It's all good.
Okay. Was he the last person to live there?
Yeah, he was the last one.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, Mr. Blobby was there knocking about, and He had some blow-up doll called Sandra or something. I think that used to drive around and remember when all these like celebrities sort of bought taxis
Yes.
because they didn't want to go in because they could go in the bus lane. Do you remember
What?
that?
No.
Kate Moss had one. Everyone was driving around in black cabs, weren't they? Because they didn't want to pay the bus lane fee.
Yes.
Or something like charge that come in. And he got one, but he used to put like some blow-up doll there, dressed up, for some bizarre reason. Anyway, he wanted to know that I want it with the house. I was like, get it out. It's freaking me out, man. Shades on and a little baseball cap, blonde wig. No.
Did you meet him?
No, didn't meet him, no.
No. I couldn't believe that he got kicked out of I'm a Celebrity. Do you watch I'm a Celebrity
Yeah,
at
I
all?
watched it at the time, but I can't remember much about it.
Oh, he was kicked out really early.
I used to watch him on Swap Shop, man. He was mega.
Yeah.
I loved that programme when you could ring in and sort of go, I've got like Evil Knievel here, but it's got one wheel. But can I swap it with a geezer from Coventry for the hot stepper or whatever it is, or, you know, Shaking Stevens needs 7-inch. Thought that was a good concept.
It was a great programme. They came to Northampton. We were so excited. I remember watching TV and it was just like, oh my God, get yourself down to the park.
Proper, man. Swap Shop.
We've discovered some clips of interviews that you've done in the past, and this is one, and I haven't heard these either. This is something that I was interviewing you in 1994, and it was in a hotel, and it was just ahead of you going out on tour, Oasis going out on tour. I think you'd recently lost your voice, apparently. I think Noel had to step in and sing. So this
Downfall. You know what I mean? That was the day we created a little monster. Little monster with large hair.
Is this the beginning?
Well, probably, yeah.
Should we listen? Because I haven't heard this either, so listen up for this.
You really are on the threshold of being, very big and very important. And that doesn't surprise you at all?
No.
How does it feel, though? Does it feel like incredibly exciting?
Yeah, it feels normal, though, because you think, because all them bands today, they don't write no songs, and they just write half a song that'll sell at about 5,000 indie kids who haven't got a clue anyway. Do you know what I mean? And that is it.
So what are your aspirations then?
Just making a proper song. That can be, when indie dies, whatever it is, don't know what indie is, but in 30 years' time, there won't be such word as indie. Many of our songs can go down with it. So, like, you know what I mean? It can be put there at any time, so just timeless music.
I knew I was a prophet.
30 years' time, there you go. Wow, you were a prophet.
Yeah.
Could we sounded any younger and any less trying to be cool and like?
No, I don't think we were trying to be cool. I think we were cool.
Who would you have been imagining? Like, because the NME was really big and important when you were making music. So would you have been trying hard to impress them? Do you think?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be trying to impress them. No.
No.
Oh no, I was never trying to impress them. But I used to buy the magazine because it had bands in there that I liked, but I wasn't bothered whether we were in it or not. They wouldn't. We'd still get to the kids without being in their magazine, you know what I mean? Because we were out gigging, you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people forgot, you know what I mean? Oasis wasn't big because of some people on radio or some people in a magazine that hypes us up. We were out gigging and we played every night and we got to the kids that way, you know what I mean? Obviously it helps a little bit, but we were always going to come through and we were always going to get to the kids because we were out doing what we meant to be doing. A lot of these bands these days, or still whatever, none of them want to get in a van and gig, you know what I mean?
It was completely different then, wasn't it? I remember you coming in to do the first evening session and you did Live Forever just in the tiny little studio where we used to do it over at Yalding House, it was called. And just remember, it was extraordinary. You were amazing.
You know, we had our moments. There was days when we were mega and then there was days when we were a bit not mega. And then there was days when we shouldn't have got out of bed that day. And then, but I think if you look back at it, 80% of it, I thought we were decent, man.
Did you ever feel the pressure of doing what you were doing? Because I think people can feel quite fragile and quite intimidated and done in by the whole music industry and what you have to go through.
I loved it. I wasn't the songwriter, so I imagine someone who has to get up and write the songs, you know, and all that, and come up with, you know, if you make a great album and like the next year, you know, record companies, I was sort of, I've never spoke to a record company. I don't really speak to them to this day, you know what I mean? Not because I don't like them, it's just there's not much to say, you know what I mean? I just go and do what I do and then that's it. But I imagine if you were like the songwriter at that time, the pressure would get to you, you know what I mean? But it wasn't for me. I was out having fun. And I think that's the elements of being in a band, you know what I mean? We was out having fun. All I had to do is look kind of pretty cool and just sing.
But that's quite frightening as well. Some people would crumble under the
Oh,
idea
no,
of walking out
I
on stage, but that's not you. That doesn't
No, I
apply to you
could
at
do
all.
that.
No.
That was easy. I could still do that. You know what I mean? Mm.
So when you're walking out on stage for Knebworth 2022,
Yeah.
any nerves at all?
Obviously,
Anything?
you just want to get on there and like do your gig. I'd done like a gig at the Etihad 2 nights before, and and some days, and I think I'd sang like 22 songs that night, and I don't normally do that, but I wanted to give the kids value for money, so I normally do 20 songs. I might have pushed it a little bit. So then I had a day off, and then we had 2 on the bounce at Knebworth, so I was a little bit like, hope the voice all's out, but not hanging about with 70,000 people and giving it the big one. I can do stood on my head, you know what I mean? Hopefully you just sit there and just go, God, I hope the voice sounds all right, and I sort of always sit there and think, if I can get to the 10 mark, like the 10th song and that, then I'll be fine and that. But sometimes you look down and you get to the 2nd song and you're thinking, this is going to be a long night, man. So I got to the 10 mark on both nights, and it seemed to go all right, you know what I mean? But nah, I never get nervous, ever.
It's great.
I only get nervous if my voice ain't quite right, you know what I mean? But other than that, if it's bang on, man, I'd stay there all night.
This is 1994 again, and this is before your first Glastonbury, so we'll hear about this.
We got you here under the pretence that you're playing at Glastonbury. Are you looking forward to it? First time there?
I'm really like really terrified by it all
Why?
because like there's loads of people there.
But you're really
But
going for
I'm
it.
gonna like get up there, you know.
The opposite of what I've just said. I'm lying there, man. I was mad for it.
Really?
I wasn't terrified. No. I don't think I was.
We asked you to choose the last song that you would want to hear as you exit planet Earth, and
Right.
you've chosen Stone Roses.
Is that when you're dead, though? How would you hear it if you're dead?
It's the last song that you hear as you're dying,
Right.
and you're listening, and then by the end of it, you're gone.
Okay.
So Stone Roses, what have they meant to you? What part did they play in your life?
Without that band, I wouldn't be here. I went to see him at the International 1 or the 2 at Plymouth Grove, and I think that was the first gig I've been to. And when he walked on stage, that was when I knew. I just went, that's what I'm going to do. And funny enough, that's where my mum met my dad. It was called the Carousel before it was called the International 2, or 1 I always get mixed up. So my mum and dad met on that same dance floor.
Well,
Obviously, she had us and all that, and that was great. But it's funny, that, isn't it? And I'm like, she was there boogieing, and I got my epiphany and started a band.
Yeah.
And here we are today.
there you go. I Am the Resurrection. Happy?
Well, no, because the ending's great and that, but I am happy, yeah.
Stone Roses, I Am the Resurrection. A little game for us to play now.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to list some categories, and what we have to do is you have to name 3 things in the category, and then you move on to the next one. Do you play games at home with the family, the kids at all? Board games?
I as far as I go. Debbie's mad for board games, always trying to get me up, but I haven't got I can't.
The mental capacity is what you're saying.
No, and then it stresses me out but Debbie's got.
She's bang on.
She's got a board game, like a cupboard with loads of board games in.
What's Debbie's favourite board game?
Your favourite board game, Deb?
What's your favourite board game, Debs?
And she's really good at them as well.
Is
So
she?
part of me thinks she's Googled the answers. Quiz.
Oh, quiz,
She's
like
a bit of a nerd.
okay, Trivial Pursuit, pub quiz, all that kind of stuff.
Trivial Pursuit, all that stuff.
That's a lot of pressure.
I cannot be doing with that game.
Okay, so the idea is that we've got categories, bunch of categories. You have 1 minute, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. We see who gets the most. So, Anna, producer Anna, is going to begin the timer now. 3 festivals.
Glastonbury, Latitude.
It's not easy when you're under pressure, is it?
Reading.
Reading, there you go. 3 things you might find under your bed.
Bogeyman, pair of shoes, cheese sandwich,
3 pizza toppings.
pineapple, jalapenos, and sweet corn.
3 types of cheese.
Brie,
Camembert.
there you go, and the cheddar cheese.
3 movie villains. 3 things you can't throw away. 3 things you would never get rid of. Things that you care about.
Your kids, your missus, and your mum.
There you go. And we're out of time.
That's stressful, man.
I'm so sorry. No,
Go.
it's your... Yeah, no, you do it.
Ready? 3 things you can spread on toast.
Butter, jam, Marmite.
3 things that protect you from the sun.
Sun cream, sunglasses and sun hat.
3 types of flour.
Oh, roses, peonies and hydrangeas.
3 green vegetables.
Carrot, courgette, cabbage.
3 actors called Daniel.
Craig, No help coming from you then.
No,
okay,
God, no.
no, I can't do that one.
Right, 3 reasons to drink water.
To hydrate yourself. To hydrate yourself and to hydrate yourself. Why else would
Right.
you drink water?
Well, stress, man. Take yourself, then.
Right, next time you come on the show, I will never ever make you do a quiz ever again. Liam won.
I'm not having that. Yeah.
I'm not a good loser. Okay, I promise you, please come back on the show at some point in the future.
I will, and I'll be better at that game.
How is your health now? Because you had, we were talking about your hips.
All right, man. Yeah, man, I feel good. Just got to get out exercising now. I'm doing a bit. I've got a gig at the end of the month, so...
But having a hip replacement is a big deal.
Yeah, 5 months. So I had it done 5 months ago. But,
Yeah,
all good, man.
Did you have them both done at the same time? Wow. So you... but actually, they get you up and walking, don't they?
So then
pretty
they try
early.
and get you up and walking, like, but it wasn't happening, so I had to go live. I went back home, I just wanted to get out of the hospital. Can't be doing with hospitals, man. So I was there a little bit longer, and went home, just sort of chilled out in the house.
Lots of physio. And you...
No physio, man. I don't like people touching me. So I was lying at the doctors. They were going like, "How's your physio going?" I was going, "Yeah, he's a nice guy." He's chilled. I've not had any. Can't be bothered with him.
You don't like people touching you?
No, I can't be doing with it. I don't like people that I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like when you get a massage, you know what I mean? You always ring down at massage and I just go, what have I just done that for? Because as soon as it comes, you're just going like that, can I cancel?
So you're not into massage feet?
Not into it, but, no, not into that stuff, not into it. I'd rather just go, don't like it, man.
So what exercise are you doing at the moment? Can you run?
No, you can't run yet.
Oh, no.
Bike riding. I do a bit of bike riding, bit of boxing, some weights and that, nothing too much.
Yeah. But exercise is still good for the head, isn't it? So I'd imagine you still want to do that.
The head's always been sorted, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to end with Champagne Supernova.
Do it.
How do you feel about this song? Is this one of your
Beautiful.
favourites?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've got a lot of favourites and I love playing it. And obviously at Knebworth, we've got Squire up playing it with us.
Yeah.
Which was mega. And no, I love this song. I love them all. I have no favourite, man.
No one favourite? Not one in particular?
No, not really, no. I mean, like, even like when we do, like, say the songs that people maybe not like as much, I think if you treat them the same and that, like, you know what I mean, like your children and that, I think you can get some fun out of them, you know what I mean? So even when we do Roll With It, which apparently, you know what I mean, but that goes off. But I guess it's what you see from people's heads, you know what I mean? It's like you see people jumping up and down and going mental, and it's great, isn't it? If they're stood there like throwing stuff at you, then it sort of takes a different turn, doesn't it?
Do you ever get emotional, I suppose, when I do gigs and I played Don't Look Back in Anger, your song, and I, the other day, played that song and the sight of the guys there with their arms around, singing at the top of their voices, I got emotional.
Yeah, you can do, but you know, we're not here for any of that. Well, I'm not anyway. I'm not here to be like crying on stage and stuff, whether you're not being hard or anything, but this is what I like bringing it out with them, you know what I mean, with your voice and that, but yeah, you can get touched by it, but you're not going to get the tissues out on stage, man.
Touch is fine.
Yeah,
but
touch.
Do you know what? The one thing that's come throughout this whole hour is you talking about the fans and the songs, and right from like 30 years ago when we were talking, that was the essence. That's the essence of you. And
well, yeah, because at the end of the day, man, if you know what I mean, if the fans ain't in, you got nothing, have you? You know what I mean? You can talk, you know what I mean? So it's like, no, I love getting on stage, playing to them as best as you can, and it's amazing, and I thank them for that, you know what I mean? It must be hard being a me fan. I hate that word, you know what I mean? But it must be hard being an Oasis fan or a me fan or a Noel fan, because there's lots of complicated, you know what I mean? So it's nice when you can just get up there and do what you do, put all that stuff aside and do your gigs. People pay their money, and you give them what they want, and everyone goes home and has a lovely time.
we shall play this. Thanks a lot for coming in.
You're welcome.
Thank you, good night. Take care of yourself. Nice one.
Champagne Supernova, and before that it was Liam Gallagher. Thank you so much, Liam. Coming up next, you've got Bob Harris with the Kentucky special. It's now time for the news.